guys, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Sending you guys a big hug. I know the world is crazy right now, but I really do hope you guys are feeling good, feeling fresh. I have a funky fresh video for you guys today, especially all of you guys that are interested in my uni related content, which I know is quite a few of you. Today I'm finally sitting down to do my uni Q&A. I asked you guys on my Instagram about a week ago if you had any uni related questions to ask me, because by far some of my most asked questions are uni related, and I just figured before this entire season of university ends, I would sit down and answer them all and yeah, kind of reflect on the past 4.5 years at university. So yeah, it's kind of the end of an era and to all the uni content. Who knows, we may have some more in the future or whatnot, but I'm definitely kind of moving on from that part of my life and yeah, seeing what else the world has to offer, which is scary but very excited. So if you're currently at uni or about to head into uni or are just interested in uni related content, sit back, relax, and let me start answering some of your questions. So a few of you guys asked about my course and what I actually studied, because some of you are new, which is so exciting. Welcome to the fam. But yeah, if you are new, I've been studying a dual in psychology and justice, majoring in criminology and policing. So basically they were just two big passions for me. When I started, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. It's not like I did accounting, become an accountant, if that makes sense. I kind of was just this is where my interests are, and I feel like I want to learn more about them to take me into my future. So yeah, I'm going to graduate with 2 separate degrees. My graduation is in a couple of weeks at the beginning of August, which is really fun. I feel like that's why you go to uni, so you can wear the hat and the gown and just flex your degrees. I'm kidding, you go there to learn, but you do go for the graduation attire a little bit. So yeah, I also get a few questions about my justice degree. Originally when I started, the justice degree was a derivative of the law degree, so we did a lot of law facilitating subjects, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's all kind of about social justice, and there's 2 different majors that you can choose from. So you can go down the government and policy route, which is kind of interesting. I did a few subjects that were compulsory in that field, but I just knew that I was never going to end up in a role like that because I just don't like politics. I don't like all that kind of stuff. I chose the criminology and policing major, so all of my electives came from that, and it was super fun. Would recommend if you're interested. I think actually quite a few of you guys are studying the same thing, which is pretty cool. So now I'm just going to flick through them and just start answering them. What's uni like compared to high school? Big difference. Big jump. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a bit of a rocky uni experience, and I feel like it's such a normal thing, but at the time I was oh my gosh, everyone just knows what they want to do, and I felt really stressed that I didn't. So I left school and I actually was studying to become a speech pathologist. My careers counsellor at school kind of pushed me to do that, and I thought that it was what I wanted to do, but once I started doing some of the subjects, I was this is not for me. The linguistics and just getting a vague idea of what they did, I was really cool, but just not for me. But one of my subjects was a psych subject, and I loved it. I love learning about the brain, why people do what they do, and I also did a criminology subject in my first year. But yeah, basically I got to the end of that semester and I was not for me. I was so unmotivated. I was actually studying with Rachel Catherine, and I'm so grateful that I started uni with her because honestly I don't know what I would have done otherwise. But yeah, after 1 semester there, I decided to completely switch uni, switch degrees, and I moved to QUT, which was the best decision of my life. The uni environment was so much better suited to me, but I feel like uni, there's a lot more pressure for you to figure things out rather than at school where you're kind of facilitated and pushed and reminded to do all these things. I feel like you quickly become independent at uni because it's all on you. But also I think it's important to note that it's not for everyone. There were so many times in my degree where I wanted to quit, that I wanted to drop out, and that's why I was so excited to have finished my last exam and to actually have done it, because I was after all those years of wanting to drop out, I did it. And I just proved to myself that I could do it. Yeah, that environment's not for everyone. I don't thrive in a stressful assessment environment. So yeah, I feel like you can't be too hard on yourself during that transition. Did you join any uni clubs, and do you recommend to? I personally didn't. I feel like I was doing so many other things on the side, I was doing social media and YouTube and stuff. Currently I do stuff with Handball Club because Pav plays. I don't actually play myself, although Pav has tried to get me to for a very long time. So yeah, can't really comment on that one. Do you think it's hard to get high grades in uni? Yes, I feel like it is quite, I don't want to say easy, but they kind of help you pass the subject. So you can get a 4. It's harder to get up to like 7s and stuff. I personally never put too much pressure on myself to get certain grades. I started off in that mentality, but quickly learnt that uni is just going to stress you out and become way too much if you're putting so much pressure on yourself to get like 7s in every subject. So yeah, I kind of went with the viewpoint that if I just put 110% into all of my assessment pieces, into all of my subjects, gave everything my best shot, that is all I could ask for of myself. So if I absolutely worked my ass off on an assignment and I got a 5, I would have been over the moon. I was like, yes, George, good job. You got this. So yeah, I was never too heavily focused on grades. Was it easy making friends? Definitely not. The friends that I've made from uni are such gems, but I had such a rocky friendship experience. Because I started mid-year, I was chopping and changing classes and like years all the time. I don't know how to explain this, but my first semester I was in first year classes, and then my second semester I was in second year classes, and then the following semester I was back doing first year subject. But yeah, because I was chopping and changing all the time, I'd like meet someone and then I would never see them again. I also had like 1 or 2 dodgy friendships in uni, people that were a bit too obsessed with my online presence, I guess, before they actually got to know me and were a bit too obsessed with getting on camera. That's the tea. From what you've learned about studying and routine, what advice would you give to first year? Don't put so much pressure on yourself to get 7s. Ease into it. My first semester was kind of just working out how they mark things, what they like, what to do, what not to do. Give everything your best shot, and as I said, don't put too much pressure on yourself to get certain grades. You get out what you put in, so immerse yourself in the people around you, get talking, make friends, act confident, no one will question you, and just enjoy the uni experience, because even though yes, it's stressy and there's a lot going on, it's a distinct part of your life that you're going to look back on, so make the most of it. How did you end up choosing your degree? So like I said, my careers counsellor at school, she was actually a psychologist. I remember before we put in our like QTAC applications. Do students still do QTAC applications? Does QTAC exist? I'm not sure. I haven't been in school for a very long time, so I'm sorry if any of these facts aren't relevant anymore. But yeah, I told her I was interested in psychology and she kind of told me not to do it, which is ironic because I ended up doing it anyway and loving it. But yeah, she kind of pushed me to do speech pathology because I think that they made more money, and she was like, it's a better career. So I was like, okay. And then as I said, the 2 subjects that I really enjoyed in my first semester were criminology and psychology, so I kind of combined both, and there was a dual degree that like had all that I kind of was interested in, so that's how I chose. Allow yourself to like get a feel for things. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself to pick something straight away, because yeah, once you get to uni, it's kind of a bit different. Any regrets you had during uni? Not really regrets, but I kind of feel sad that my last like year and a half of university, we had this whole COVID thing, and a lot of my time was spent at home doing uni because all of our classes moved online. So I guess I kind of regret not having like more social interaction and being able to see my friends more, but like there was nothing I could have done about that. It's just the world right now. Tips for maintaining discipline in uni and not doing assignments last minute. Honestly, can't help you. I am that girl who starts assignments 4 weeks ahead of schedule because I'm stressed. I just can't leave things to the last minute. I don't do well under pressure. If I'm leaving things a couple of days before, I literally like get so panicky and I can't think properly and I don't do my best work. So I could not urge you enough to read the task sheet earlier, get a plan or a rough idea of what you're going to do as early as possible, and research widely. And also be strict with your time. Like, you know, give yourself a small number of hours each day to do the assignment rather than, you know, stressing yourself out with like 12 hours of assignment work. That's just my thinking anyway. What jobs could you get with your bachelor degree? So this one I'm still kind of figuring out, but I love my degree for the fact that there are so many pathways open to me, particularly psychology. It's such a diverse degree, and the skills that you actually learn in the degree are transferable to so many different jobs. Towards the end of my degree, I learnt that I was able to get jobs in areas I hadn't even thought of, like HR, for example, in like businesses. I think that's super cool. And like support worker jobs, you can obviously go on and do like your honors and masters in psychology to become like an actual psychologist. But yeah, with my degree now, youth justice work, support work, HR, a lot of government jobs in like the justice fields, things like in the DV sector. Another option is also using the degree into like the police force and stuff. There are so many. And if you go on to like the university's description of different degrees, they'll normally have like a tab that tells you different jobs you can get from that degree. And then what I did was just like Googled them and found out more about them and like different sub jobs that you can also get in that realm. But yeah, so many pathways open to me, so I'm very grateful for that. Are you thinking of becoming a teacher? Not at this stage. I'll never say never. I feel like I'm probably going to be one of those people who eventually wants to move on, wants to try something new. I'm going to constantly want to be learning stuff, so it's always been like in the back of my mind, but not at the moment. Tips for placement. I loved placement. Be super approachable and always ask for help. Like put your hand up, email your supervisor or whoever it is looking after you and ask for help if you need it, and just soak up all the things that they teach you. I actually had such a good supervisor and she just like gave me so much knowledge. Like she was so smart, and every time she would like debrief me on stuff or like tell me about different things that she was doing, I just like, and I feel like that's how I learned a lot about my degree too. So soak up all the knowledge that you can, and also just act confident, act like you really want to be there, because you never know what kind of job opportunities can come from that. If they really like you, they can potentially offer you a job in that workplace. So I think that's super important to remember as well. Graduation process, how to know if you're eligible. My uni has like a eligibility criteria thing on their portal. Once I get my final grades, which I get on Friday, but I already will have gotten when this video goes up. If I have passed all of them, I have gotten all of the credits that I need. They have like a little circle at QUT. It shows you how much of your degree you're enrolled in, how much you've completed, how much you have left to go. And I've like slowly watched that ring complete, which is so satisfying. But yeah, I'm going to document the graduation process, so stay tuned for that vlog. How to cope with failing a subject. This is a really good one. I've personally never failed a uni subject, but my dad always used to prepare me for this and kind of just say like, so what if you fail? Because realistically, if you fail a subject, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're just going to do it again at a different time. They have winter subjects, they have summer subjects, so you can like fast track things, and then you're like not actually behind in your degree and you don't graduate late. Obviously just do your best, but yeah, like the worst that can come out of failing, you do it again. Like it's not actually as scary as it sounds. And I think that's something that always stuck with me that my dad taught me. Motivation to study, still living at home and needing space to study. I'm very lucky in the fact that I have had an office to study in. As soon as I started uni, my sister had moved out, so we had a spare room, and I chucked a desk in there, and I always had like a quiet space to study. In saying that though, I do agree that it is sometimes so annoying studying at home. My dad will start like, you know, mowing the lawn or something, or mum will be on the phone next door and I can hear her and I have to chuck in earphones, and it can be so distracting, especially during like COVID and lockdowns. I feel like I just got so distracted all the time. But yeah, I definitely recommend earphones and going on to like Spotify or whatever and finding a study playlist. I've already spoken about it before, but there's a playlist on Spotify that I loved, and it's called Deep Focus, and there's like no words in it or anything, but it's kind of like white noise and it blocks everything else out, and I kind of just go into my own bubble. So yeah, that's probably my biggest tip. Have you ever done 5 courses a sem or summer semester? I never did 5 courses, but I did do a summer semester once, but it wasn't even that bad because it was my placement subject, so it wasn't like a full subject load, if that makes sense, and it didn't take up my entire summer break. I just did that so that I could graduate on time, because there was no actual like electives that I wanted to do. I think it was the semester before, so I just did my placement in my summer semester. What made you choose QUT? At the time when I moved there, I had quite a lot of friends there, but I didn't particularly move for the friends. Like I didn't know anyone in my degree. I had to make all my friends that I had. But I think from hearing other people's experiences who were there or had been there, it was just a nicer environment for me personally. I didn't enjoy the stress of my uni beforehand. I just felt like I didn't fit in. Like I would walk around and I would be like, I don't belong here. Whereas like QUT, I never really had that problem. Like as soon as I got there, I was like, I feel like this is a space for me, and I'm so glad that I did that and didn't just like rough it out in an environment that I hated. But yeah, I just found the whole environment a little bit more chill and less pressure, which was more suited to me. Did you find that the uni experience was hyped up a lot growing up? Yes, definitely. I think I had big expectations of what uni was going to be like. Like I was going to have a big group of friends and we were just going to do everything together and we were going to be in all the same classes, and you know, I would just be like getting 7s all the time. And it was not like that, especially because a lot of my degree was during COVID. It was like pretty isolating, pretty like non-special. Like, you know, I would just be at home studying at my desk or be in the library studying. It was probably a little bit more social for me at the beginning and a bit more like fun and like, oh, uni's so cool. But yeah, towards the end, like it's nothing crazy. It's just a place that I go to learn stuff. Obviously that was a dumb response. And my last question that I'm going to answer, they actually like DM'd me because it's a little bit of a big one, but they said, I'm going into my last semester of my degree, which I'm excited for, but also stressed about applying for graduate roles and having pressure from uni and other people. Any advice on how to not stress about graduate roles or not knowing exactly what you want to do with your degree? I feel you. Raise your hand if you're in the same boat. I know you're out there. This is something that I'm still going through because I don't have like an exact job that I want from my degree or an exact job that I want to be doing for the next 2, 3, 5 years. As I went through uni, I definitely did have different pressures from different people. My parents are so supportive. My dad is definitely one of those people who kind of pushed me to like figure it out and has a very old-fashioned view, which I feel like a lot of people do, in that like you just find something and you just do it. In saying that, he's very much like, you know, if you don't like a job that you get, move on, find something else. But even as I was getting towards the end of my degree, I had like family, friends, my partner kind of being like, what's next? What's next? What are you doing? What are you going to choose? What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And I was trying so hard in myself to be like, it's okay to not have a plan. And it is. It's totally okay to not have things figured out. I have almost graduated and I don't have things figured out, and that's totally fine. And I feel like all the routes that people were expecting me to go down, I wasn't interested in, and I felt guilty that like I wasn't, you know, wanting to do what everyone was telling me I should do. But it's your life, and at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be happy with your decision and what you're doing. For me, I can think of nothing worse than waking up every day and hating my job and hating the day because I'm like, you know, so sick of what I'm doing or I'm not interested. So yeah, I would recommend kind of like all that self-talk, self-help kind of stuff. Get into journaling, create a really protective layer around yourself and become really headstrong so that when people are kind of dishing all their ideas on you, kind of know in yourself what is best for you. You back your decision, you back not having a plan, and I think it's totally fine. Like there's so many different jobs out there. How can you be expected to know the one that's best suited for you straight up? For me, it might take me multiple jobs to figure out what I'm actually passionate about or what I actually want to do with my life, and I'm learning to become comfortable in that. Just remember, everyone's on their own pathway. Everyone's got their own ideas of how their life's gonna go. You are the only one that is impacted by what you do. You're the only one that controls what you do. So love yourself, back yourself, and just remember that everyone's doing their own thing, and the only thing that matters is what you're doing. Block everyone out. They're all invisible at this point. But yeah, I hope that that helps some of you guys out because I can definitely relate to that situation. I'm there with you. I'm currently there doing all of that. So yeah, my heart does go out to anyone who is struggling a little bit with that because I've been in that boat. I've had many cries, many breakdowns about not knowing what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It is totally fine. But yeah, that is all the questions that I'm going to answer today in today's Q&A, the last uni Q&A. This is the end of an era, people. Are we sad? I kind of feel a bit sad, but also exciting because we have a whole new chapter to write. Like, what the heck are we gonna do? Who knows? But yeah, I hope all of you guys that are currently in uni studying that you're doing well, enjoying the process. A lot of you guys in Queensland are probably on holidays right now, but good luck for the rest of your degree. As for me, you guys will come along for my graduation very soon. It's in a couple of weeks, so that'll be exciting. And I feel like then it'll kind of hit me that like I'm done. Like, I've got 2 degrees and I'm leaving. So yeah, I'm excited to share that with you guys and share a little bit more about the figuring out my life, what my passions are, what I want to do with you guys, because I do want to make like some manifestation, journaling, self-help kind of things, and just document the process of, yeah, like applying for jobs and figuring all of that out. So I hope you enjoy coming along with me for that. But take care, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all of your support over the past 4.5 years. Whether you've just recently joined or you've been here since I started uni, I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful to have shared this experience with you guys. You guys are the greatest, and I appreciate every single one of you. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye guys.